You're looking at some waves from Isla Vista. Even with high surf and strong rip currents, some surfers, as you just saw, were out catching waves. The National Weather Service is warning people to stay off the rocks and jetties, though, because of the big waves. And that's not as big as some parts, John.
No, much of the South Coast faces south.
Ah.
So if you go to those beaches, especially on the Central Coast or down in Ventura, Oxnard, there's been a lot of surf for about the last 8 days or so.
You're liking it.
Yeah, no smiles.
It's like a Christmas present.
Yes, the smiles are all around. All right. A lot of people having fun. Let's go ahead and look at, of course, I've been saying this, and I really try to be as non-repetitious as possible, but boy, look at this right here. There it is. There's your rain. Northern California's getting it. We're not. So thank goodness we have all those water systems where we get to borrow some of theirs in the summer, because I think this is exactly why we'll need to, because the Sierra's getting it, we're not. We are getting a lot of fog right now. We're getting a straight zonal flow with all the strong storms to our north. Right now we're on the onshore flow pattern, definitely kicked into gear. It looks like a lot of reduced visibilities along the Central Coast. Wind advisory for portions of the Santa Barbara South Coast. It's interesting. It doesn't appear to be too windy in the early evening as we're going into Saturday, but it looks like we'll hold on to this through tomorrow morning for the wind advisory early in the morning. And then, of course, as I mentioned at the top of the show, the heightened fire concerns are really just a bummer to having to do this as we start to go into the new year. And it looks like it's going to last to about Thursday, if I do the math right. I think that would be the first Thursday of the year, and we're still on fire concerns. Highs today into the 50s, mostly 60s to about the very low 70s in the warmest areas, but just another really quiet day weather-wise across the board. A lot of 50s to about 60 degrees, of course, keeping an eye on the wind around Gaviota, and as I mentioned, it's not overly strong, and a lot of humidity out there, so that's the good news. If we are going to have to play this fire concern game again, we got to keep our atmosphere kind of pumped up. My guess is, though, once we do turn the winds a bit more offshore early next week, we'll see a lot of those humidity values start to crash, and boy, an area that would like to dry out a bit would be the deep south. Look at that in the Mississippi River Valley and back up into up toward the Great Lakes. All of this is going to continue to move a bit more to the east, and of course that means that we'll have to watch out for heightened delays for our airports. So I went ahead and found a few. It looks like most of them are less than 15 minutes at the top of the screen. You can kind of see the airports, though. Some big ones are dealing with ground delays related to weather and also just technical issues where they get backed up, too many people flying. So we'll keep an eye on that map the next few days. And now we'll go ahead and look at there's our fire concerns, wind concerns going up the southern Sierra Tehachapi, and then all the wet stuff and snow issues well to our north. So next week, system to our north, maybe a sprinkle or two tomorrow, more offshore wind and fire concerns. So let's go ahead and look at those chances and watch it blow through real quick. Right there, boom. And then it just stops at the Santa Ynez Range and Point Conception, that real sort of our dam, keeping all the water to the north and everything to the south. We just dry out. So future track rainfall, not much to talk about over the next couple of days. If anything, fog becoming patchy as we turn more northerly. Look at those reduced visibilities tomorrow. And then by Monday, maybe see a bit of that again, but not as much. And then watch what happens as we head toward Monday early. And then, of course, as I said, and then by the afternoon, all those 10s popping up. And that's because of this right here, which is a stronger onshore flow developing over the next couple of mornings and afternoons. And then toward the evening hours, watch how much the winds kick into gear out of the north. And that's usually how you definitely blow out the fog, and we'll start seeing temperatures warming. Now, I'm only going to show this map for just a couple seconds here because it's really almost kind of depressing if we really want to get rain. Look at the H right there. High pressure just keeps buffeting everything well to the north, and we're not even getting teased with anything. The last several weeks we've seen a little bit kind of get close to us, and it looks like at least the next 10 days we see virtually nothing. At least right now, that's what the long-range forecast models are definitely advertising, is a very dry atmosphere as we go into the new year, and maybe even the first 10 days to 2 weeks we may not see a whole lot. So there's your forecast for Sunday. Again, sprinkles to the north of Point Conception, to the south clouds, and then we'll be watching the wind. Surf is still up. It will likely drop as we head through tomorrow. There's your expected wave heights. High tide about 6 feet near about 8 a.m. so that is a bit of concern. It means a lot of water moving around. And there's your forecast, warming through the new year into 2025, staying dry. That will definitely be our theme. Unfortunately, I'd like to see some rain coming. Let's hope the long range changes as we head deeper into 2025. We'll be right back.